the Women Unleashed podcast. Join us as we share with you the confronting, fun, wild, fucked up, epic, and raw side of being a woman in today's world.
Come along on our journey as we dive deeply into what makes us tick and how we create our lives. Nothing is off limits. Welcome to the Women Unleashed podcast. It is Britt
And Taylor.
This is our very first episode and we are so bloody excited.
Yeah, and super nervous too,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
The nerves are there, we want to try and get it right and, do it perfectly, and that's just not the case.
It's not realistic, is it?
No.
You're never going to get it right.
Perfection does not exist at all.
Nope.
All right, so why are we here? Or what have we decided to do this for?
Oh, I think for a few reasons. It did just start over a couple of drinks. So I think it was for a bit of fun initially. But wow, there's quite a few reasons. And I think a lot of it is around unleashing the women, the real and true women that we are. And in this society, there's so many rules and coming back to being perfect, there's so much around about having to get it right and be this perfect person. And I think we just want to show that you can be whoever you want.
Yeah. And still deal with your stuff like at the same time. Both Taylor and I have been still on like these journeys of like self-discovery and transformation, and like, we by no means have it all together. And I think that's what's great about what we've got to share. Some of the things that we're going to talk about, like we've covered in the past, or it'll be what we're going through right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just about us being authentic and real with you all, and sharing what's going on in our lives and what we're up to, really.
Yeah. So, jump on board, have a listen. Our podcast will be about 20 minutes long. We aim to release one a week. So you can just snack on them on your way to and from work if you still go to an office, or if you're like me and working from home, then maybe a walk around the block, a large block.
Yeah, a big block. Sounds good.
Cool. All right, Taylor, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm 28 years old from Brisbane. I have a mortgage broking business in Brisbane as well. That I started about 5 years ago. I have a partner. I have 2 little kittens. And I'm really all about empowering women and their financial situations and giving them the ability to be financially free and do whatever they want to do with their funds and their money. So I guess that's a short version of me.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll find out a lot more as we go.
I'm sure we will.
I just realised, like, we're both 28.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know whether I thought you were older.
Oh, great.
So there you go. Well, so Britt, a little bit about me. I'm 28. I have a beautiful man in my life. Have done for almost 2 years now. And I get to call myself a bonus mum because he's got 2 beautiful children. I work full time for a top, if you're in Australia, ASX listed energy company, and lead a team of gas traders, which is pretty fun. And I've got 2 little dogs, one called Minnie and Rosie. I'm no doubt we'll talk about our cat dog things.
Situation.
And I really love riding horses, and going to the Olympics has been a dream of mine, and I'm going to share a bit about that in probably another episode. And what lights me up is, in addition to that, is same thing, like empowering women to be whoever they want to be without having to look a particular way, and women being empowered by themselves.
Yeah. And I think when you talk about like looking a different way, just so we're super clear, you don't mean just on the outside. You know, there's more to it than just, how we look as well. Like how, It's about really being who we want to be in life. Not the good looking good and the looking bad and all that stuff. Hey.
Yeah. It's more around our being. Yeah. Who are we being out in life? And that's where I think we've both discovered the power is in our lives, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, this podcast is for you, and inside of us sharing about our lives and what, we discover and what's happened, like, you're going to listen through a lens of, like, what's going on in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. We hope it's relatable and something that you can look at and discover for yourself, not just about us. It's something that you look at deeper in your own life and see if maybe it resonates and something you can look at for your own your own situations and what you're up against and what you're up to.
Yep, 100%. And you'll discover that every episode will have a call to action, which is for you to actually share with somebody what you discovered for yourself out of listening to our podcast. So, and what we mean by that is it's really easy. Like, even I've fallen into being a podcast junkie or an audiobook junkie and just like consuming, getting lots of insights, but not actually causing any transformation in my life in reality. And we've discovered that when you share it with people, that actually makes a real shift in your life in reality.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of breaks, I don't know, it's like breaks a barrier, I think, that you have with yourself once you start sharing it and getting it out into the world. And I think it creates a bit of accountability, like an internal maybe accountability to yourself and with others.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's be real, our mind sometimes can play a lot of tricks on us. So once you get it out into the world, it can make it a little bit, easier to manage and deal with.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example just so you kind of get what it looks like. When I started sharing with people that I had an eating disorder, before I did it, I thought I was going to my mind was making up that I was going to step into like this fiery pit of judgment from people. Yeah. And when I started sharing about it, like, I just fell into this big fluffy cloud of love and support. Like, everyone was just there to hold me and be there for whatever I needed. And like, I just would never have thought that was possible without, inside of like sharing with people. So yeah, that's what we ask you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing what you've overcome, Britt, with sharing that. I remember when you shared it with me for the first time, and it's a completely different situation for you now. And the way you are about it is completely different from when we first met. So it does definitely work when you share it with the world.
Yeah, definitely. We will also answer your questions. So if you share with us like how you went sharing with someone, or you just have a question, then feel free to ask it, and we'll have some question time at the end of our podcast. Or we might, if we get bowled over with the questions, we might create a whole new episode for that.
Yes. Yeah, if we become so popular.
Yes.
And I think too, nothing's off limits with those questions as well. So go hard with whatever you want to know, and hopefully we can give you some direction or some insight into, I guess, from our experiences, what we think is a good answer or a way to deal with it. I don't know.
We're by no means like professionals. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a financial expert.
Or psychologist or
counselor. What else? Personal trainer. Not that either.
No, we're just two girls dealing with life.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you can expect from us. And do you know what, Taylor? I didn't even hit the time button to see how long we were recording for.
Yes.
And if I look down here, it says that we've only been going for 10 minutes. And we said that we would do a podcast for 20 minutes.
We did. Well, we're very efficient.
Yeah, we're really, really efficient. So
I think we just want to, I guess, talk a little bit into what looking good can mean, and because I think sometimes it gets really distorted in society as to what it really is for people.
yeah, and if I was to narrow that down a bit, you said like it's not looking good on the outside, but it's looking good on the inside. Like, what does that actually mean?
I think it's about, I think it could mean a lot of things. It could mean whatever it friggin' wants to mean to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, everybody makes up their own meanings to things. But for me, it means being okay with yourself. Like, being okay. And it's being okay not just when times are good and things are going well, but actually being okay when things are fucked up. It's being okay and allowing yourself to be okay and not get yourself all torn up and make yourself wrong and bad for things. Like, we're human beings and we are gonna do shitty things and do not shitty things, and you know, but it's about how I guess you process it and just how you are about yourself and who you are being in the world. Like, is who you're being who you want to be?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you nailed it. And the only thing I could add to that is like looking good on the inside would, to me, means like, are your thoughts like, not are your thoughts in check, but are you aware of your thoughts? And are you aware that you're not your thoughts?
Yeah. Like, are they running you or are you running them?
Yeah. Like, are you sitting there picking the ones that serve you or not? Or are you just oblivious to the thoughts and how they're impacting you?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, Britt.
And I'll share, because like the real life experience of like, that's what we want to give our listeners. And then again, like, I'll probably relate a lot of things back to the eating disorder, because that's my experience. Like, I thought, like, it's been a couple of years since I have had any like binge or purging or anything like that. So, and I was also in a place of exercising freely, not exercising because I ate something or because I was fat or thought I was fat, which I'm not. But we went on holidays, and a couple of days beforehand, I launched a website for an event, and it was a nude event, and obviously I had a freak out about it, and the thoughts were like super mean. They were really filthy towards myself. And then we went on holidays, and I just I didn't create the space for myself to go for a run in the mornings. And I just, I was fixated on food. Like it was like after breakfast, I was thinking about lunch. And then if I wasn't thinking about breakfast or lunch in between, I was thinking about how, I felt. You know, I was super mean to myself.
Yeah.
And the impact was like, I got that mean that I didn't want my partner to touch me. It was awful. And so it took about 10 days for me to get it. And then I went, okay, well, right, now I've got like the physical responses kind of like sorted, you know. That, don't get me wrong, there's still when I get confronted, sometimes I'm like, I'll just eat a couple of things, but it's nowhere near on the scale as what it used to be. But yeah, it was like, okay, my thoughts, like I got to get more responsible about my thoughts.
Yeah, it is. And because you're the only one that can be, right?
Yeah.
And touching on your eating disorder, Britt, I think let's just share with everyone that we will be doing a more in-depth episode, because there's a couple of things you touched on there where I'm like, oh, I think I even do that. You know, I think there's a lot of, I don't know if stigma is the word I want to use, but misinformation around what it actually looks like to have, you know, you might not be purging like in your case, but you may be doing other things that aren't healthy. either, you know? So we are going to talk more about that and probably do a bit of a series on that as well. I think it'd be really great for everyone to get some information on that, even for myself, you know?
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that, Britt, too.
You're welcome, Taylor. It was a really good like catch there. You know? I like it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And you wanted to share that you've got a pretty epic event coming up.
Yes, we do. I'm super excited about it. It started, I think, about a year ago now. It's called Financial Superwomen, and it's a free workshop that is held in Brisbane. We're planning on doing about 6 for 2022. The first one was the 19th of February, which we've missed, but the next one's the 26th of March down the Gold Coast. And basically, it's for women who have been impacted and have survived domestic violence, for them to receive support, information and education on finance. So, yeah, it's awesome. And I was so privileged to be part of it. And it's amazing watching these women educate themselves. Have been able to assist women in buying homes by themselves, you know. It's just so cool. So we talk about things like, you know, how to buy a property, how to budget, how to rent a property, you know, that's tricky.
Yeah, because that's probably where a lot of people are at, actually, before buying a property.
Correct.
They just want a secure roof over their heads.
So we give them that. We've got, we've got some legal aid advice and different contacts. We've got Broken to Brilliant that's there. They assist DV survivors with getting back into society. And we also talk about banking. So it really is a great event. It's free. So if you know anybody that's interested, please let them know for the 26th of March, 2022.
So 26th of March, 2022. What time does it start?
It starts at 10 o'clock and it goes to about 3.
10 a.m. until 3 p.m.
And there's 6 workshops. So it's kind of you go where you want to go. And you get to do 3 in the morning. Then we put on a lunch. So there is lunch and drinks.
Right.
And then we have another 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. And where is it located again?
Now, it's down the Gold Coast. I don't have exact details as we speak.
Address. Okay.
But we will put some comments in the show notes so that you can
follow. Also, I assume you'll be like sharing this on your socials. So
correct.
where can listeners follow you for updates?
So I share it probably mostly on my business page, which is Taylor Kelly Mortgage Advice Bureau. So that's my mortgage broking page, and I've been sharing it on there.
Fantastic.
But there's also the Financial Superwomen page on Facebook as well.
Great, just on Facebook. Awesome. All right, well, thanks for that. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Like, I want to go. Like, that's how awesome it sounds. You know, I love just being around women and talking about money, because it's something that we'll talk about in another episode.
Yes.
That I just get myself really stitched up over. So.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think financial literacy has been forgotten a little bit, and I think it's starting to be realised in society how important it is. So I think obviously this is specific to domestic violence survivors, but I think it's also necessary for kids in schools and really everybody.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, look, that is the end of our first episode.
Yay!
We did it. I reckon it's been about a month and a half since we first spoke about this. So we have been in action. We're fulfilling and doing what we said we would do.
Yep.
Thank you and for listening today, and thank you for listening in the future. We're super pumped.
Yeah, and we're really grateful to have you all here. So thank you.
Thanks.